students are gone, but you are still here. And we know how you feel because you are done. But you have so much work to do to get ready for tomorrow. Good afternoon, podcast listeners everywhere. Welcome to After the Bell, a Stunt Brothers production. A podcast that gets inside the life of a teacher and provides a wellness guide for being prepared to take on this most challenging of professions. I'm Martin Stuvel.
And I'm Roy Hunt. And we share your pain, having taught a combined 70 years. The guarantee of this podcast is to make you laugh, make you think, and give you at least one little nugget that you can use in the classroom. So get out your marking, organize your supplies, or just pour yourself a coffee.
I want something stronger.
And listen, engage, and interact with After the Bell, a podcast for you, the hard-working, dedicated teacher who wants free lesson plans, free advice, and a free meal.
Okay, Roy, but I'm not paying for anything more than McDonald's. Well, Mr. Hunt, here we are. Episode 43.
43. Season 2, episode 13.
Lucky 13.
Yes.
Wow.
Many people think 13 is lucky.
Yeah.
You think so?
Well, I mean, I think it is. It's just.
Well, I guess it's all.
If it's in the mind.
If it's in the mind.
Right.
Yep.
Don't let it get to you.
There you go. All right.
But last week, if you were listening, listeners, last week to episode 42,
yes,
you would have heard that I had to cancel on our bike ride.
Yes.
Right? And I was told that I had to find a replacement and all these other ridiculous demands from Mr. Hunt here about what I should come up with because I couldn't make it. First of all, did you have a good lunch?
The lunch was good.
Yeah,
the lunch was
I paid
good.
for it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I paid for the last one.
And I found a replacement.
Yes.
I found a neighbor across the street. I said, hey, you're going on a bike ride tomorrow with Roy Hunt.
Well,
how was it?
The bike ride, great weather.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We went along the seawall, saw the ocean, everything.
Nice.
But your replacement, not so much.
Really? Why not?
Let's see. Cold fish.
Oh, okay.
Going on a cycle with a rotting log.
I hope he's not listening. Wow.
Definitely lacked that, joie de vivre.
Okay.
Right?
Well, thank you.
So, or lack some life force.
Wow. Well, I'll have to be honest with you. I said I was under the weather, but I just actually wanted to stay home and get to my novel and kind of work on that because it's one of my passions, right?
Yeah.
And
well, it's okay to have the passion, but I mean.
But I just wanted to get, because actually with this passion of the podcast and other things, we've gardening and all those things, I have actually not been spending my retirement on the writing part of my list of passions that I thought I would.
Well, you know that I'm such a good friend that had you said to me, I need to work on my novel.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go for a ride. Then
I wouldn't have had to buy lunch.
I would have accepted that. In fact, you probably wouldn't have had to pay for lunch.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
But I know what you mean.
Passions are important, though.
It is. They are. And just this podcast itself, when we retired and we said, we'd like to do something together, and we threw around the idea of a podcast. And I think that the podcast itself, we become started off as just a little glowing ember, and it's a flame now.
It's a flame now, and it's a real passion project.
It is,
right?
And it's really nice to do something completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, as a teacher, I love teaching.
And I think we're lucky that way because I think we have a passion for teaching as well. And I think you've won the lottery when you do get a profession that is also a passion.
That's right. But sometimes the difficulty is that when your passion sometimes becomes a burden, that's difficult. And I think what happened for me in teaching is I was always passionate about, being with the students and talking with the students and sharing with the students and having students share with me. It was the other part of teaching which was so onerous. It was the marking and everything, and that it's the weight that pulls you down.
But you also found a new passion recently, haven't you not? With singing or something's going on?
Yes. I really love singing. I've always enjoyed singing.
Okay.
When I was in Japan,
Yeah.
I'd always get a tap on the shoulder from my friends. And they would,
Karaoke
you
in Japan,
sing for
right?
us? And all right, lots of John Denver songs.
Did you have a go-to song?
Well, there were very few English songs available, so that it would always be a John Denver song. I think there was a Johnny Cash song, but you could go to some of the specific karaoke bars, and they would have a lot more English songs.
Fun.
So, yeah.
They came
John
from
Denver,
miles around to hear.
Almost Heaven, West
Here, Mr.
Virginia.
Hunt.
Yeah.
There you go.
So could you sing that? And then everybody would applaud.
Yeah.
And but I enjoyed singing, and it's interesting. In my youth, my grandparents went to church regularly.
I think church was
would take us.
Place for so many singing people and moments in life that people have when they think back to their past. Yeah.
I was always in the choir.
Okay.
And then when I was in elementary school, they always had a choir, and I was always in the choir.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the Rotary festivals that they would have for elementary schools, and I would sing in the choir. So singing has been a large part of the joy in my life,
and you've rediscovered it, and you've had a chance to do some of it. That's fantastic. And I think we have found our topic for this episode.
Yes.
Episode 43. What should we call it?
I think we should call it Feel the Power, Find the Passion.
Yeah. And we're going to go on a field trip. We're having someone come to the box, and it's going to be the topic of passion, but it's also connected to, and this is a bit of a trip down my memory lane, to a former student of mine, Natacha, who I taught 33 years ago. And she's a musician, and she's a wellness coach, and she is going to share with us her journey and her discovery of finding the passions, and also giving some advice about wellness and how we can try to reach, not necessarily Zen completely, but we can try to find that in our life, in our busy, busy lives. And I'm really excited about this, to have this moment to connect with a former student and sit down in the box and talk about this.
It. Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone. We're here with Natacha, and we're really excited about this. And I'm going to give you some of the background in terms of how Ev and I know each other. But before we do, we always start with our icebreaker. It's called ABC 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do the ABC. Is that right?
No.
No, other way around.
I'm doing the ABC.
Okay.
You're doing the 1, 2.
Roy's doing the ABC. I'm doing the 1, 2, 3. And it's just whatever pops in your head, just answer it. You don't have to overthink these.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
Okay.
So, A, creating a song or creating a meal plan?
Both.
Both. Okay. All right. That's all right. You can do both. B, morning workout or an evening practice?
Both.
Okay. All right. What is your best memory from being in Mr. Stubel's class 33 years ago?
Oh, my goodness.
That's a tough one. I can't remember 33 years past.
You can't remember 33 minutes ago.
Year 3.
I would have to say, and we just figured out that I wasn't actually in his class when we did this. I was in another class, but it was recording the Beatles song.
Nice.
So basically, Mr. Stubel brought his camcorder, and we all got in teams, and we got to record a song from the Beatles. And that's before I even realized I was a musician. So
There you go.
yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Here's 1, 2, 3. What was your favorite book as a child? Do you have one?
I remember a book called James and the Giant Peach.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made it your favorite? What do you remember from it that kind of stuck with you?
I remember how descriptive the writing was in the peach being juicy and the flesh of the peach. And I swear, every time summer comes around and peaches are in season, I think of that book.
Nice.
And I'm like, it just tastes so
Roald
good.
Dahl is just a classic, yeah. Number 2, if you were given a day off to do anything you wanted, what would you do? It's your day. It's completely, you got this extra time, this whole day, your choice to do. What would you choose to do?
Oh, my goodness. I would probably grab my guitar if it was a beautiful sunny day like it happens to
It's
be
a beautiful day
today.
Yeah.
Go up to the park and just play and write and leave my phone and just flow. Yeah, lose
That
myself.
sounds like a perfect day. Yeah, yeah. And the third one, if you could only listen to one piece of music, one song, one piece of music, you're, say, on a deserted island, you can't hear anything else. You don't have to play it over and over again until you're sick of it, but you only have one piece of music. Is there one you would choose above all others?
I've heard you guys ask this question
Yeah,
to other
it is.
guests,
Yeah.
and every time I'm like, oh, God, I don't know how I would answer that question. So I'll answer it in a bit of a roundabout way.
Absolutely.
There's a classical piece called Miserere by Allegri, and it's so beautiful. I've sung it with various choirs. It's quite challenging, and it's the song that I've often thought, not to get too dark, but I would love played at my funeral.
Okay.
It's like otherworldly. So that would be the one piece that I could be at peace with listening
What was
to.
it called again?
Miserere
Okay.
by Allegri.
I will be listening to it this evening. Wow. Wonderful. Well, thank you. And we really love having you on. Ev, Natacha, we go back. So you've probably got a bit of a hint of that in your answers to the ABC. But was it 1992 we first met?
It was,
Yeah,
yes.
at Longsdale Elementary School. And you were 10 years old?
10 years old.
Yeah.
Well, when I started your class, I must have been 9
Right.
because my birthday's in November.
Okay, yeah.
So-
Yeah, it's a grade 5 class. So 33 years later, here you are. And you are, you're a musician. You've built a great catalog of songs. You're a certified life coach, personal trainer, nutrition expert, wellness specialist, and you're the creator of what you call Phase 5 Wellness. So we so appreciate having you on our journey and our podcast to sit down and talk about passion and what drives us and what makes us healthy and joining us on this beautiful sunny day.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Stubel and Roy. It is an absolute pleasure to be
Yeah.
here,
And
truly.
it's, I told Ev recently I've been finding old videos from the past, and I was digitizing them and putting them to digital format so I could watch them. And I found some things from that time when we did the Beatle video that you talk about, right? I have that. We went to Hyatt and did a kind of day at the hotel, and it's just, I sent them to you. How did you feel when you saw yourself in this video and it's 33 years ago and you're a child there, and now you're
Yeah,
a full-grown adult, well into it.
I went through a bit of a journey of emotions seeing that clip of myself. The person that I am today, I'm very proud of overcoming various challenges in my life. And when I look back at that little 9-year-old Ev, I see a girl who didn't have the vocabulary or the emotional maturity to express herself. So she was very withdrawn and, hard to believe, right? Like, what? Here I am. But it was a bit heartbreaking and also an opportunity for healing and to really hold that little Ev in my arms and be there for her.
Yeah.
And, on an energetic level, offer some love. So thank you for sending me that.
Yeah.
And I'm also, it was a nice opportunity to reflect back at myself for where I'm at today, feeling like I have the strength, confidence, and self-worth to stand up for myself, to have a voice. And I didn't always have that courage.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Those are the things that you see that demonstrate the growth that you've gone through. I mean, there's a history that we all travel. We travel along the path, and we have our little stumbles, right? The things we trip over along the way. But it's amazing when you see where you've come from to where you are now, and you see that growth. And that itself that's a bucket filler, right? That fills your heart, and there's a sense of pride that comes from that. I'm quite
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So
On that note.
it's my turn.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you share with us your journey from an opera singer / musician to a certified life coach? Like, what were the things along the way that that was your start, and what were the things along the way that got you to where you are now?
Well, to be honest, I never thought that I would find something aside from music that would bring me as much fulfillment, be as rewarding, and bring me as much joy, spark that joy inside of me. So after high school, I studied classical music, got my degree in opera. For the next 20 years, I had the opportunity to teach, perform, actually go to Europe and sing with various choirs in the gorgeous cathedrals there. It was wonderful. And if I could go back in time and ask that version of myself if there would be anything else I'd rather do, I'd be like, heck no. No, music, 100%, which I still feel will always be in my heart. But I've also always been drawn to the world of wellness. And over the years, on a few occasions, I've had friends or in a situation say, Ev, you're a really good listener, or you hold space well for a friend. I crave that. I crave deep connections. And kind of marrying that with my interest in fitness, being a bit of a self-proclaimed gym rat myself, and that whole thing, it was a natural progression. It wasn't one specific pivotal moment. It was a collection of seeds that got planted, and eventually I thought, why don't I give this a shot? So I took the steps to move forward with that. Yeah.
Other than my Beatle video class that you joined in, what was the moment that kind of got you into music? Maybe in high school, was there something along the way that kind of brought that passion to you? Just so we go right back to that part of you that you still hold dear to yourself?
Yeah. Well, I was a choir nerd, and I loved every moment of it. I developed some really wonderful friendships with my fellow choristers in high school. I also sang in my church choir, and it was the best part of the day for me. I remember being 14 years old and taking music so seriously and being so disciplined about it. I mean, a silver lining, there are many silver linings, but it kept me out of trouble during those high school years. Yeah. Who knows what kind of mischief I would have gotten into, but I was too busy singing and excited about, we got to go to Japan in grade 11 on a choir and band trip. So I was hooked, definitely. By the time 14, 15, I had my plan set out that, okay, I'm going to graduate, I'm going to go to university, I'm going to get my degree, I'm going to be doing music. And the original plan was to be an opera singer in Italy, which didn't pan out. Things changed. But that's okay. Yeah. That was very much what kept me focused throughout my high school career.
And I think it's vital that kids in high school do have some other passion, because I do worry about kids that just go there and sit there in socials and math, and that's all they have. They will, I mean, you're a teenager. You will get yourself in trouble, actually. Whether it's sports, whether it's the video club, or whatever it is at school, drama, music, I really wish kids all would find a passion at that point, because it's hard, I think, if you don't have something, because I think it builds confidence in you. Did you find that it builds confidence in you?
Absolutely. Yeah. For whatever it's worth, I've never considered myself to be academia, very academic. Math was always a challenge for me. And if there was no art and music classes, I imagine that I would have felt pretty sad, depressed, and not being successful in academic classes. I had my music where I could thrive, and it was a very important part of that time of my life. Yeah.
How does the discipline and creativity of being a musician inform your approach to helping those when you're coaching and training?
This is a really good question. I love it. Well, something that I've noticed about the way I train people in fitness and create programs, design programs for them, parallels the way I would work with a new student with music, in that typically when I would meet up with a student, lesson number one, we'd sit down and I would ask them, meet them where they're at. What music do you like? What artists do you like? Taylor Swift, back in the day, Britney Spears, Disney music, musical theater. And we would compose a list of what they like listening to. And then together we would create a repertoire list of songs that we could work on throughout the semester. With fitness, rather than just assuming that everyone's going to be interested in my form of fitness, weightlifting or this or that, I sit down with the client, meet them where they're at, and figure out what they're into. If they're not into the gym, no problem. Nature. Some people love going for hikes or, a light nature walk.
So you've excelled in music, in fitness, and coaching. What drew you to pursue such a diverse range of passions?
Well, thank you for asking me that. When it comes to coaching, specifically, I remember chatting with a girlfriend of mine who was a personal trainer, and I admired her so much because she had such a healthy lifestyle. She'd wake up early and take her vitamins and her supplements and get to the gym. And I was mirroring that, and it felt so good. And I thought, I want to be a part of this world, right? And so I started to explore and research how I could get into that. And I found Rhodes Wellness College here in Vancouver, which offered a life coaching diploma program. So I enrolled, I got accepted in that, and that opened up a whole world of the wellnesses, including the emotional, mental, physical, spiritual wellnesses there. And that was really what started getting things churning towards me going full in with the personal training.
And what got you yourself into weight training specifically? What drew you to that? And what was it? Is it recently, or was it quite a far back in your time that you said this was it for me? What drew you to that aspect of wellness, working with weights?
Yeah, I was a typical cardio bunny girl.
Yeah.
Jumping on the treadmill and get a good sweat and go to all the aerobics classes, which is still fun here and there. But what I did, and this is pre-pandemic, so about 6-7 years ago, I actually hired a personal trainer myself. I'd never worked with a personal trainer, but I wanted to learn. I was curious. I kept looking over at that area in the gym where it seemed everyone knew what they were doing. There was these dudes and there was women too, split about 50-50, which is awesome, between men and women in the weight section. And I was always too scared to go in there. It felt so intimidating. Finally, after hiring the trainer, he took me there. I wasn't alone, showed me how the machines worked, and I was hooked. And it felt so dang awesome to walk out of there and feel strong and empowered. And once I started, I fell in love with lifting.
How do you, I think a lot of people, they don't, whether it's weightlifting or just fitness in general, they figure the hill's too steep to climb, right? This is a mountain too much for me, and they don't get started. How do you get them to make that first step that is successful for them when they start to then lead to how you felt eventually? How do people overcome that? Because I think a lot of people, they've left it so long and they're going, forget it. It's just easier to get out my bag of chips and sit on the couch and watch TV.
Absolutely. No, that's one of the misconceptions I've noticed about people who are sort of curious about making a change in their life and being where they're at now is an all or nothing mentality and thinking, what could 10 minutes a day do, really? Well, it can do a lot, right? We start by adding these little itty-bitty steps which pile up on top of each other, habit stack, if you will. So what I would say is to just get started with something small, and it doesn't require, some people, for whatever reason, financial reasons or otherwise, can't afford to hire a trainer. No problem. Go to a gym or, a community center, YouTube, find the resource and start with something small. Yeah. You could ask a staff member at a community center how a machine works. They'd be happy to help. And if you're brave enough to do so, those scary, in quotation marks, looking people in the part of the gym where there's heavy weights and you might hear some grunting and whatnot, are teddy bears. Like anyone in there pretty much is more than happy to help. Yeah. So to be bold and actually people love it. I've had women actually come up to me on a few occasions and they're like, "Excuse me, you know what you're doing? Could you help me?" Yeah. And I drop everything. I'm like, "Yes, let me help you," because of course I've been there. Everybody in that gym has had a day one.
So we've been talking about the numerous things that you've done so far in your life. And how important is it for someone or for people to pursue their passion?
That is such an individualized thing. For me, I would love everybody on this planet to ignite that spark within. I believe we're all born with. Yeah. A spark of creativity, whether you think you're an artist or not. Creativity is innately human. I would love for everyone to find that, to explore that, to express themselves in that way. But it can be so individual, and I feel like depending on where someone's at on their own journey, maybe they're ready, maybe they're not. But to really be honest with themselves in figuring out how they'd like to explore that.
Because Roy and I, we've talked about this a lot, the idea of finding passion. And I like you said, I think everybody has that artist in them or that writer or that musician, whatever it is, that gardener. And I think the saddest thing is when people get older and it's getting on to their end of their life and they look back and go, "Oh, I didn't pursue any of my passions." Like that, to me, that just breaks my heart to imagine someone at that point, So that's why, whatever it is, I just think people should explore things. Because a lot of people don't know they have a passion. They don't know what it is, right? They've been fed things to them. They don't know that, I just got out a sketch pad. I started to doodle and I'm getting better at this or whatever it is. Because I think they'll feel better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the looking at something that you've done before and you say, "Oh, I really enjoyed that." But sometimes those passions, those little fires, they fade a bit. And later in life, when you try to pick it up again, you go, that's not really what I'm interested in now. So those passions, I think, can change. And I think when you're being aware of what's going on and being willing to try something new, that first step that you talk about, those little incremental steps, that something that's an initial interest can blossom into, a fire. And I know one of the things, I was an avid runner. I loved running, and I would run long distances. I did half marathons. I did a marathon, only one marathon. After one marathon, I said, "That's enough. I like half marathons. Stop that." But I ended up having a hip replacement, And so I'm not running like I did before. And there's something that I was missing. And so I'm looking for something else that gives me the same feeling. And I enjoy going to the gym and work out. I work out regularly. And that has been my new passion. So I think they change.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cool thing, too, about creativity, I just would love to share something.
Yes, please.
So I have a really good friend of mine who is in business. He's super busy. You might even say a workaholic, but in such a good way because he loves what he does. He's running all these companies, up at the crack of dawn, busy, busy, busy. One would think that on his downtime, he would just want to chill out, No, he's in 2 different bands. He's a phenomenal guitar player. He's off to rehearsal. He's playing shows. And what I've witnessed from the outside is that putting the energy and effort towards that creative outlet actually enhances his ability to perform well in the business world. Yeah. It's very complementary.
I really wish people would explore, right? Just explore. And don't do it when you retire. Just, you explored it throughout your life. And I explored it throughout my life so that then when you do retire or you have free time, you can be like your friend and he's filling his time. Like, even when he's working hard, any free time he has, he just, I think his life is quite fulfilling when he does that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
What are some of the core principles that you teach about wellness that are relevant to professionals like teachers?
Mm-hmm. Well, something that before even getting started on a fitness program, I'm a huge fan of figuring out a person's why so that we can get to their way. And what that means in the why is it's all about mindset, right? Why are we doing this? Why are we here? Goal setting, SMART goals, for example. For your listeners who might not be too familiar with SMART goals, I'll just briefly explain.
Yeah.
So SMART as an acronym stands for specific, S, right? So you've got to get specific about what you want. The M, measurable. How are we going to measure that? For example, say someone wants to lose weight. Specific. How much weight? And measurable. 10 pounds. That's what I want to lose. A, is that attainable? You look at someone who is, say, 90 pounds, losing 10 pounds, maybe not really attainable. And then R is realistic. Is this realistic? Again, self-explanatory for realistic. And T, time-bound. So unless there's a time-bound, scenario there, this can go on forever. Right. New Year's resolution, people, right? I don't know how many times I've set a New Year's resolution, and by not even the end of January, but like mid-January, it's long forgotten because it wasn't.
It's too big. It's usually too
right.
big. Right.
We need to get laser focused.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really bring to the table is getting laser beam focused about mindset and getting clear about things before jumping right in, really setting the foundation there about that, and figuring out where they're at in their where they're at with change, if they're really ready for it.
I like the way you use the SMART goals because that's something we in the education world are very familiar with.
Yes.
Right? That terminology and that acronym. So I think it really kind of focuses the goal. I've never seen another acronym that kind of speaks to it in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, have you heard of the SMART-er goals?
Please tell.
Please tell.
So if you add an ER at the end, the E stands for easy.
Okay.
Make it easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the R, reflective.
Okay.
You can reflect back and go, okay,
Yeah,
that's
and then maybe
that's
make
right.
some changes if you need to, right? But
Mm-hmm.
okay. Now your I guess your wellness company or your whatever you call your coaching
Phase 5 wellness.
5.
Yes.
Well, you have the name Phase 5. So what is Phase 5? Please tell
Well,
us.
thank you for asking, Mr. Stubel. So I learned when I was at Rhodes Wellness College about the trans-theoretical approach, also known as the stages of change. So that is, there are 5 phases: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and then maintenance. And so without going into too much detail about each phase, whenever it got to the action phase and then to maintenance, I always thought of maintenance sounding kind of weak, you know? Maintenance. You know, take your car in for some maintenance, maintenance mode. Bleh. How about action going to thriving, you know? Like a rocket. Let's go for the stars here. Yeah. So my whole philosophy around wellness is to get to that action phase, and rather than coasting, keep it going, keep the momentum going, set some new goals, reach higher. So phase 5, that's where, dare I say, don't we all want to be there? Yeah. Right? Yeah. I know I want to be there.
And how do we find time in this crazy world with all the draw of online and phones that are vibrating every second and other things that fill our time that are not helping wellness at all, and in fact, I would argue, inhibit wellness and are creating a lot of mental health issues in this world? How do we make those things go to the other part of the house and be away from us so that we can focus on wellness?
This is a very big question.
Yeah, I know.
And, you know, not every day is the same.
Yeah.
I think, you know, some people might say, well, easy for her to say, right? Mm-hmm. She could carve out time for the gym. That's my world. That's my life. Mm-hmm. People have careers and families and spouses to take care of, and maybe aging parents to, you know, support. Mm-hmm. So it is challenging, but I would urge and encourage anyone who's finding that really challenging to think about what they're prioritizing. Right? Health is wealth. Mm-hmm. If we don't have that, and I'm talking mental health as well as physical, I mean, the other things fall apart and become so much harder to manage.
Yeah. And maybe making, like we've talked earlier, just a small goal, a small step. Like, I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to lock it up for an hour, just an hour, and
Absolutely.
then go for a walk during that time. I'm not going to have it on me. Just something, and then you'll go, well, that wasn't so hard, right?
Yes.
It's like withdrawal from any addiction. Mm-hmm. You sometimes have to do small steps. Cold turkey does not always work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, harm reduction.
Yeah.
Keep that phone out of the bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing you should do. Shouldn't be in the bedroom at all.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Could you recommend 1 or 2 simple exercises that teachers or people who work in an office could do when they have a break or their lunch, something that would be reinvigorating? What would be 2 things?
Sure.
Just 2 things. Only 2.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you 2 and then a bonus.
Okay.
So if you're at your desk, say lunch break, 10 squats.
Okay.
Up and down from the chair. I won't do it now because I'll get away from the microphone. But 10 squats in a row. Take a break.
So listeners, do this. You can do it. You're listening.
You do it right now. Right. We're watching. No. And take a break and maybe 3 sets of 10 reps each. Head over to the wall. You don't even need to get on the floor, but wall push-ups. So you've got lower body, you've got upper body, and that'll get the blood moving a little bit, energizing. You won't really break a sweat, so, you know, you won't need to shower after this, but it's a little bit. It takes a couple minutes. The other thing I would strongly encourage is incorporating mindfulness, namely meditation. YouTube is a wonderful resource for like a 2-minute meditation. If you don't even have 5 minutes, but a 2-minute guided meditation, put that on, tune the world out, and do some breathing. Box breathing, if you're aware of what that is hugely helpful to calm the nervous system, tone the vagus nerve, and just really center oneself. It can be done on the bus, any time of the day. And basically what that is, for those who don't know, is you breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. And you can do this for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah.
And Roy and I have talked about these things as a teacher. You can do with your class at the same time.
Yeah.
So everyone's benefiting. You're benefiting, and the students. And I've Roy's done some meditation with the class, haven't you? And focus.
Yeah.
And I've often done things called Zen tangles, where they just have to really focus on what they're drawing. And honestly, the feedback from the kids is always like, I didn't know I could be that calm. And discover a calm in them, because they also are in this online world, in this world that it's so busy. They're in organized sports. So when they discover that, they realize how good that feels, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's that finding how you can regulate yourself. Regulation is something that's really a common word used in classrooms. Breathing techniques, just a lot of breathing techniques and zones of regulation. They talk about that because many of our students don't know what it's like to regulate, and it's the finding those moments where they experience the regulation and go like, oh, that's what feels like. It feels like to be quiet. That's what feels like to feel calm. And when you feel that, and someone draws awareness to it, how did that feel? And you go, that wasn't too bad. And so then you start thinking about how it felt. And then once you feel it and you think about it, the chances of going back there again are much higher.
It's wonderful. I mean, I could go on all day about this, but really the holistic approach with fitness, meditation, I mean, nutrition's a whole other umbrella over there, but all of these things can be so helpful that don't require medication. And I'm not saying, if someone's on medication, consult your GP. That's important, of course. And that's outside of my scope and all that. But to really, really try some of these things that are available.
Ev, you were very nicely, you went out of your way to create a PDF of a body weight training plan. Is there, and I'm going to post it on our website, stuntbrothers.ca. Is there anything about that plan you want to share with listeners right now, or is it kind of self-explanatory?
Sure, yeah. So I created, it's a few upper body, few lower body, including a bit of core, body weight only with optional weights. I did bring with me, I know we're not videotaping this, but there's, during the pandemic, when the gyms were closed, workout equipment was all sold out at Walmart, I got super, super crafty and really creative. I had to be. Yes. So I was using soup cans. I was filling up water jugs for my weights, like you name it. I think I made a jump rope or something. I don't know. Yeah. But we're past that now. And if any listeners would like to something that isn't very expensive, very transportable, resistance bands.
Yes.
Super easy. They can have them at their desk at school. And this could just add a little more intensity for resistance. Amazon, I mean, they don't cost that much. So that's what I would recommend if they wanted to take it next level. But as per the PDF that I created for you guys is, a series of exercises that can be done at home. You don't need any gym equipment. I've included some visuals as well to refer to, and the explanations are right there. So, it's a little body weight resistance, body weight starter pack.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. Where can our listeners find more information about you or other resources?
Yeah. Well, my Instagram is probably the best place, Phase 5 Wellness. Look me up. And email. I'm happy to chat with anyone on email. It's phase5wellness.ev@gmail.com.
Before we get to the music portion of this program, is there anything you want to add about the wellness and all the topics we've talked about so far?
There is. And there's one exercise I'd love to share with you guys that I'll go out on a limb here, I found to be the most important exercise that I implement into my life. And it takes about a minute, less than a minute.
Wonderful. Yeah.
I call it the mirror exercise.
Okay.
And so you go up to a mirror and look at yourself into your eyes, and you say to yourself, I am precious. I am irreplaceable. I am on earth with power and purpose. And that's it.
I like that because I've met too many people who are low, who just don't believe in themselves anymore, right? And everyone needs to find that belief in themselves, and you have to love yourself in the end before you can help anyone else and do anything else in this world. You really do. And some people are exhausted because they're helping everyone else. They're so busy, but they don't look in the mirror and say that to themselves.
And you know what? It's not easy.
No.
The first time I did that, I was in tears. It took me some time to be able to look at myself in my eyes, say that, believe it, and take it in. But try it. Try it for a week. See how it feels.
Nice. Anything else to add, Roy, before we move on?
Oh, no, I'm waiting for the music.
Well, this is a new part of our podcast is to actually have live music done in the studio. And in a minute, I'll stop and I'll let Ev get all set up for this live song. But I'm just going to play DJ and talk about it. I was listening through all your songs last night while I cooked dinner.
I did too.
Yeah. And here's just a few little observations of 3 songs before we get to a song called Show Me that you're going to present. So Perfume, the song Perfume. And forgive me if you go, that's exactly not what I'm aiming for. What's he thinking? To me, I heard that, and it was sort of an Alanis Morissette, Alana Miles, Sarah McLachlan, 90s kind of feel. So that's kind of hit me with that. Like you were up there with those great women songwriters of the 90s and Lilith Fair and all that time. Have you watched that? There's a CBC documentary on Sarah McLachlan about her Lilith Fair and what she did in the 90s. If you haven't
That's
seen it,
on my list.
yeah, it's really good.
Yes.
April Rain, to me that's like a French folk song. There was something, just the feel of it.
Oh, you just hit the nail on the head. That was the total vibe I was thinking.
Okay.
Parisian cafe.
Yeah, that's I instantly had that, right? And then Told You Once, like what a vibe in that song. Like that was just fantastic. So thank you. I encourage listeners to find you on Spotify. And what should they? Where would they look? Ev Natacha.
Ev Natacha.
Okay.
So just EV,
Okay.
and then Natacha.
Okay,
And,
I'll put a link too so people can find it easily, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
And today you're going to perform a song called "Show Me." Is there anything you want to say about it before the performance?
Yeah. So this is a song that when I was thinking about performing something here for you guys today, I thought, this is kind of perfect because songwriting for me doesn't always come easily. It can be months of like going back and thinking about the song and changing it and tweaking it. This piece I wrote, literally, I remember it so clearly. I was finished a workout and this melody just came to me and these lyrics. And I was in the elevator heading down out of the gym, grabbed my phone because I didn't have my guitar with me at the gym. And I sang it into my phone. And as I was walking home, I kept singing, got home, grabbed my guitar, and the song was written. And also, there's some audience participation involved. Okay. So I know you both have beautiful singing voices.
So I'm so excited about having Ev perform one of her original musical songs. I just think it's wonderful to have her come in the box here and perform live. We are very blessed to have this moment. Thank you.
On one hand, all the lovers I've left long before the sun rose in the morning. Can't count on one hand all my many regrets, broken hearts, broken bottles and stories. Show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. Show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. Yeah. how many times I swore I'd never give my heart away again, never ever want to stay again. And then I met you. He said, girl, love's a mystery. That's ancient history. We got this opportunity for something so true. He said, show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. Come on, show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. Then all of my sadness and tears just melt into dust, and a rain cloud of happy tears cross my heart and hope this lasts forever. He said, never have I ever felt this way before. Now I can't count on one hand all the lovers I've left long before the sun rose in the morning. I can't count on one hand all my many regrets, broken hearts, broken bottles, and stories. Well, show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. Come on. Show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. Come on, boys. Show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. One more time. Show me all of your dark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark. I'll be the fire if you'll be the spark.
Bravo. That was wonderful, Ev.
Beautiful
Thank you.
singing.
Thank you, Ev. This is warmed an old teacher's heart. Thank you. Appreciate this chance to talk to you about wellness, passion, and to hear your wonderful music. Thank you.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, that really did warm this old teacher's heart.
I
right?
could tell
I really
you
enjoyed
were-
that after.
You were quite proud.
I was,
Yes.
you know, to think you taught someone 33 years ago, and then now she appears on your podcast.
Yes.
So thank you, Ev. We really appreciate what you had to say, and we really enjoyed your music and that chance to join in a little bit. And, you know, maybe we end every episode with a song.
I would like that.
You've been getting your passion of singing going, so
Yes.
maybe Mr.
We'll get your
Hunt.
passion of guitar playing
There you
going,
go.
and maybe we'll do a collaborative song.
Sounds good.
Maybe,
But maybe
it does.
we won't.
It
Listeners,
sounds good.
don't get too worried. It's okay.
We
You
could
know,
lose some listeners.
we could.
We could.
This podcast is organic, taking shape with each episode. Building resiliency for teachers everywhere.
That sounds great.
And our website is stuntbrothers.ca.
That's stuntbrothers.ca.
We will chat again.
After the bell.